Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying attention to the NFL lately, you already know that the landscape of the league is constantly shifting. But what's happening right now in the NFC North is nothing short of a game changer. And this isn't just about some minor roster moves or a couple of injuries here and there. No, this is about a significant move that could really shake up the division, and it involves none other than the Chicago Bears. So, buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you could have major implications for the Bears' future, their roster, and their quest for the playoffs. Recently, the San Francisco 49ers, a team that's traditionally been known for their strong defense and a balanced offense led by Brock Purdy, have been dealing with an absolute nightmare in terms of injuries. It's the second straight season that injuries have decimated their offensive unit, and if you're a Bears fan, you know exactly how devastating that can be for a team trying to compete at the highest level. After Week 1, the 49ers trainer's room was overflowing with some of their top offensive talents. Brandon Ayuk, who was expected to be a key part of their passing game, is still working his way back from a torn ACL, which is no small feat. Recovering from such a serious injury takes time, and his absence is definitely felt on the field. But that's just the beginning. George Kittle, their star tight end, is already on IR after suffering a hamstring injury last week, and that's huge because Kittle is such a vital component of their passing attack. Not having him on the field means less versatility and explosiveness in the offense. Brock Purdy, who's been quite the story since taking over as the starting quarterback, is also banged up. He's battling toe and shoulder issues, which can severely impact his mobility and accuracy. Joan Jennings, another receiver, is working through some pain in his shoulder, and Trent Williams, their veteran offensive tackle, was seen in the medical tent against the Seahawks. I mean, it's practically a medical convention over there, and it's clear that the 49ers are facing a massive challenge. Despite all these injuries, the 49ers still have some bright spots, especially in the backfield. Christian McCaffrey, a guy who's been phenomenal since arriving in San Francisco, dealt with a calf scare but was able to play at full capacity on Sunday. Backup Brian Robinson Jr. has been rolling in Week 1, showing that the 49ers' running game remains a strength. That's a huge advantage for them, especially when their passing game is somewhat compromised. They have depth, talent, and a run game that can still carry them, even if their wide receivers and tight ends are dealing with injuries. But here's where it gets interesting for us Bears fans. The 49ers have a deep roster, no doubt, but they're also faced with the difficult reality of managing injuries. And that's where the story about Isaac Guerendo comes into play. You see, Guerendo, a second-year running back for the 49ers, has been relegated to a backup role, mainly serving on special teams. During Week 1, he didn't see any offensive snaps, only 15 on special teams. That's not what anyone expected from a guy with his skill set, especially considering his impressive physical profile. You see, Isaac Guerendo has a unique combination of size and explosiveness. He weighs just over 220 pounds but runs a blazing 4.33-second 40-yard dash, which was among the best at last year's NFL Combine. He also posted a vertical leap of 41.5 inches, again, one of the top marks among running backs last year. This kind of physicality and speed gives him the potential to be a real threat in the NFL, especially in a system that values a versatile and explosive ground game. Last year, when other 49ers running backs were banged up, Guerendo stepped up and made some impressive plays, including a stunning 76-yard run to start a drive against the Seahawks. That play showed just how much potential he has, and it's exactly the kind of talent that a team like the Bears could use to spice up their offense. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting for Chicago fans. The Bears, as we all know, have been searching for that reliable, explosive running back to complement DeAndre Swift. They've been craving a back who can bring that physicality and speed, someone who can help establish a threatening ground attack that can open up the passing game. In the offseason, Fans were clamoring for the Bears to go out and sign a high-caliber back or draft one early, but the team opted to run it back with Swift and added Kyle Monangai in the 7th round. That decision hasn't exactly paid off so far, especially in Week 1, where Monangai saw limited action and Swift struggled to find running lanes. And this is where Guerendo might become a real diamond in the rough. The Bears have a need for a player with his skill set, and considering the 49ers are effectively discarding him, there's a real possibility that Chicago could bring him in at a relatively low cost. Guerendo, as a Day 3 draft pick, didn't see much action as a rookie, but injuries in San Francisco opened the door for him to start 3 games last season. And in those games, he made the most of his opportunities, showing flashes of explosiveness and physicality that could really benefit the Bears' ground game. Imagine a tandem of Guerendo and Swift working together, providing that 1-2 punch that Chicago has been desperately seeking. Guerendo's blend of size, speed, and power could be exactly what the Bears need to take their offense to the next level. And with the current injury situation in San Francisco, it's not far-fetched to think that they might be willing to part ways with Guerendo for a reasonable price, especially if they're trying to manage their roster and get healthy for the stretch run. Of course, this is all speculation for now, but it's a move that could make a lot of sense for the Bears. They need someone who can bring a different element to their offense, and Guerendo, with his rare combination of skills, could be that guy. Plus, he's still young and eager to prove himself, which makes him a perfect fit for a team looking to build a dynamic, physical, and explosive ground attack. It's the kind of move that could turn heads, and honestly, it's a storyline that Bears fans should be paying close attention to in the coming weeks. Now, let's talk a little about the bigger picture here. The NFC North is one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL, and every team is making moves to gain an edge. The Bears, after a somewhat rocky start last season, have been looking to build a more balanced and potent offense, and adding a player like Guerendo could be just the spark they need. Remember, Chicago's offense has been somewhat inconsistent, especially in the run game, and a physical, explosive back could help them control the clock and keep opposing defenses honest. This is exactly the kind of upgrade that could transform their offensive identity and help them contend more seriously in the division. Plus, with Justin Fields continuing to develop as a passer and runner, having a reliable, explosive running back next to him is crucial. Guerendo's skill set aligns perfectly with the kind of offense the Bears want to run: fast-paced, physical, and unpredictable. His ability to break big runs, combined with the power he brings, could open up new options for Fields and the passing game, forcing defenses to respect the run even more. That kind of threat can be the difference-maker in close games, especially as the Bears look to climb up the division standings. Of course, there's always some risk involved in bringing in a player like Guerendo, especially since he's still unproven as a feature back at the NFL level. But if there's one thing Bears fans should know by now, it's that sometimes you need to take a chance on a player with upside, especially when that player has already shown he can make plays when given the opportunity. His 76-yard run last year was a perfect example of what he can do if given the chance to showcase his talents. It's that kind of explosive potential that can change the course of a game, and potentially a season. So, what's next for the Chicago Bears? Well, it's clear they need to evaluate their options at running back and consider whether Guerendo could be a low-cost, high-upside addition to their roster. They've got the cap space, and they're always looking for ways to improve. Given the current injury situation in San Francisco and Guerendo's potential fit, it's quite plausible that we might see him in navy blue and orange sooner rather than later. That could be a huge boost for the Bears' ground game and a significant step toward their goal of returning to playoff contention and maybe even making a splash in the postseason. The NFL is a league of constant movement, and one move like this, adding a player with Guerendo's upside, could have ripple effects that go far beyond just the Bears and 49ers. It's about building a team that's versatile, explosive, and ready to compete at the highest level. And honestly, as Bears fans, we should be excited about the possibilities. We know the importance of a strong running game, especially when trying to control the clock and keep defenses honest. Guerendo's style fits perfectly into that philosophy, and if he gets the opportunity, he could be a real difference maker for the Bears. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about this potential move? Do you believe Guerendo could be the missing piece to elevate Chicago's offense? Would you be excited to see him in a Bears uniform? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion really matters to us and to the future of this franchise. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come for our beloved team. Keep the passion alive, Bears Nation.